All right, what's poppin', y'all? It's your boy DeAndre, player 288, and we back with episode 4 of the Squid Games Challenge Aftermath podcast going through episode 4. And I'm your humble host, and I have my guest with me, player 130, Jakoben Thomas. Jakoben, welcome to the podcast. How you doing today, man?
Appreciate it, man. I'm doing good. Doing good. Good day. I just got done eating some Thanksgiving, so I'm home. I'm enjoying myself. It's going good, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So if y'all can't tell, my man has a southern accent. He is thick in the building. It
That
wouldn't
Mississippi twang.
Exactly. So if you can't understand some words coming out of his mouth, I can't either.
Come on now.
Nah, I'm just playing. I understand him because he's got that light-skinnedness, and I can understand regardless of what language he's speaking because that soul bond right there. So, Jacobin, tell me, why did you decide to apply for Squid Games, the challenge?
Man, so to be honest, first of all, I didn't think I'd get on there. And I mean, I'm sure like a lot of us thought how out of all these people applying, we gonna get on here. But of course, I came across the link, so I was like, I'm gonna just try this stuff. And at the time, I hadn't even watched Squid Games either, so I didn't even know what kind of was going
Really?
on. I didn't go watch. I didn't watch Squid Games until I knew I was getting on until I about knew I was about to get on the show. That's when I was like, all right, I'm about to have to tap in and figure out what the hell I'm getting into.
So
But
you didn't know
I
anything
think I
about the show
applied. I
before you
mean,
applied?
hell, it was just something to try. Like I was like, this thing is pretty freaking dope. Like it's $4 million. Like 4.56 million. Why not try? So I just wanted to give it a shot.
So when you watched the real show, were you like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm getting myself into? Or were you like, oh, I got it?
I mean, when I watched it, I thought it was pretty dope, honestly. I was like, we about to be doing some pretty cool stuff, like if they making it a reality version. So, I mean, I was pretty excited about it, honestly. Nothing kind of scared me or I didn't fear anything about it. I was just super excited about it. So that's how I felt.
Okay, that's awesome. And so when you're getting ready to go on the show, you found out you made it. What's kind of your strategy going into the game, once you're headed to the airport and then, you're getting to the destination? What kind of game plan are you trying to follow?
So my strategy going into it, so I'm a truck driver. So I'm used to being on the road weeks at a time by myself. So I can kind of stay to myself and make it like that. So that was kind of like my strategy going into it. Of course, I can be a social person, no doubt, but I knew me being able to stay to myself, but still kind of insert myself in conversations to let people know I am here, but I can stand on my own. So I really was trying to play the game by myself and not really be too cliquish and form an alliance or anything like that. But I mean, I did make friends and whatnot, but I felt eventually, of course, it would get to a point where you're playing the game by yourself. So why not play the game by yourself in the beginning? Of course, try and make friends and make connections in the beginning, but remember, you're gonna get to a point where you by yourself, it's only you. You can't trust anybody else. So going into it, like I said, I already kind of knew I was gonna make friends, but I wanted to be playing the game kind of by myself and kind of just staying to myself and low key.
Okay, Tomb Raider player one settings over here. He had a man with a plan and he was going on his Lara Croft adventures and not needing nobody else's help. Okay, I like that. So, beginning of episode 4. So everyone is standing in a line, beginning of episode 4, and the announcers tell the players that, hey, this first test out of 2 is everyone must get in a line, and you must vote for a player to eliminate. The 3 players with the most votes are voted out the game. You got to exit the Survivor Island. And so when they tell you these rules, what's going through your head right now?
So the first thing when they said that, obviously we end up having to get in a single file line. I knew my ass was gonna be in the back of the line. Because I was not about to key in nobody number. You wasn't about to see me throw that up there first. No way. Because it's just when you do that, you just asking to get everything put on you at that point. So I feel the first people, like you kind of a badass if you willing to jump straight to the front of the line. So the first thing was like, I'm getting in the back of the line. I'm about to see what these people do, and I'm just gonna follow suit and do whatever they do. So that's what I was thinking.
Okay, he said, I'm in the back, coach. I mean, look, getting in the back of the line in this game has proven to be, not the worst
Exactly.
idea in the world, except for red light, green light, I suppose. But,
Right.
you
You
know,
had to be in the front.
yeah, exactly. So that's a pretty good strategy. So, that's what's going on.
Right.
Some people want to know. So when they told you these rules, you had some time to go kind of deliberate with your peoples and whatnot. You wasn't just like, oh, here's the rules, get in line. So what were you doing during that time period?
So funny thing is during that time, and obviously they don't show me much in the dorm because, like I said, I kind of stayed to myself. But I'm about to spill a little bit of tea. The funny thing is, and I don't remember. No, I actually do remember one of them. It was Cheney, obviously, but I bunked above Cheney in their like little alliance clique, so I could hear everything they were saying, and I don't even think they knew. But I guess in a sense, their influences was kind of influencing me because I was like, all right, this is like kind of what I hear. I'm gonna do what they do, I think, because I just wasn't the type of person to just go around from group to group to group to find out like who y'all talking about, which one y'all think y'all gonna throw up. So it was kind of like the closest thing to my ear is kind of what I was gonna go for because truthfully, like if if I knew I was going to get to the back of the line and wasn't going to be the first one to key in the number. So I don't know whose number I really would have threw up there. It probably would have just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know whose number I would have threw up there. So I was kind of listening to what they was going to do, and that's kind of the number I was going to go with.
Okay, hey, solid strategy. Under the radar.
Oh,
Name of the
Snoopy.
game. Honestly, it's name of the game at this point, except for our friend who, I ain't gonna spoil this, but under the radar is the key to the game at this point, in
Too
my
many
opinion.
snakes in the game, bro.
Yeah, and if you stand out in this kind of game, it's not good for you. Like it hasn't helped
Exactly.
anyone so far, essentially. So,
Gotta be lucky.
yeah. So 330 tries to get everyone together on the same page on who to vote out. He rallies everybody together, and he's gives a little speech. Dr. V, and then player 179 says 330 is arrogant. Then 418 speaks out, says if anyone wants to leave, basically speak up, which who wants to leave at this point? 18
Right.
speaks out and then tries to keep the peace, like, everyone calm down, yada yada. So when 330 gets everyone together and gives his speech, do you like what is this going through your head? Like, is he looking bad? Is it looking good? What do you think?
Like at this point, I think it's like BS because it's like you. See, that's the thing. You you didn't want to be too big of a leader, and I feel like being a leader in that moment was shining the light right on you because whose number got threw up there. So it's like you put yourself in that predicament right there. Like you over here inserting yourself, like trying to be the decision maker for everybody else and make everybody else come to an agreement. But as you can see, like the loudest person in the room is not the person that makes it far. So it's like you just need to kind of keep your opinions to yourself or tell a few people, but don't like insert yourself like too hard, like trying to like dictate other people's decisions. So I felt like he should have just laid low and not said anything, honestly. Especially like that. Like he was coming on way too strong, trying to be the decision maker for everybody.
Definitely. That's what it looked like he was doing. So then 232 says he doesn't associate with doctors, like 330. That was a hilarious moment. Then 287 and 286 seems that they have bonded. We learned that 287 is Mai. This is the first time we get introduced to her.
Right.
Then we find out TJ, Darius, and Cheney talking about their solid group. This is a group of three people, and Jesse. That's their
Right.
little clique going on right there. There's no
Yep.
name for it.
They
Then three,
didn't have a
seven.
name.
Hey, all these groups have names, and some of the names are kind of silly, but it helps, knowing what you're doing. But they didn't have a name for their group, at least not shown on camera. Maybe I'll have to figure out the
Exactly.
name of their group. So then 374 is accused of saying he wants to go home. Wow. Did you hear anything about this?
I don't think I I don't think I heard that honestly. Like I just the crazy thing is like a simple bug could be put out like that and everybody just gonna go with it. And I mean that's what happened. Everybody just went with it. So I don't personally I don't know if he actually said it, but that bug must have got thrown out there and uh, everybody else just went with it and took it and ran with it. So uh,
Yeah, no, it was definitely not the kind of thing you want to have put on your name like that. If you want
and
to go
do
home
we
and escape.
really know if he thought like that?
I'm working on trying to get my boy in here. I'm working on it.
Like
I'm
he
working on
needs
it.
to tell us. He needs to tell
I,
us how he felt.
I'm gonna, I respect this man, Andy. That's 374. He's a great dude. Got to meet him in the
Okay,
game. So I'm trying to. I'm gonna unravel this, and I'm gonna get the
you
people
got
the
to.
answer they're trying to find. I'm going to get it.
I
So
mean,
that's
that's
my
my
next mission.
that's my question right there. I want to know that.
Hey, 374, please stand up. All
Exactly.
right. So then Cheney, we get introduced to her. She is a math teacher from Houston, Texas. Says her weakness is making impulsive decisions. Then we cut to Leanne and friends in the kitchen making diced apples for everyone. And they, want to give everybody these diced apples. They finish cutting them up. They bring them out and then they hand them off to everybody. Did you get any apples?
I didn't get any apples. I did not
No.
trust that. I did not trust them apples.
What? What about apples?
they
Because not you
they
trust.
were they were too happy with these apples. They were like, nah, y'all being too friendly with these apples. I'm good with what they giving me. Nah, no apples.
Wow. Okay, the apple conspiracy is real. Okay,
Hell no,
interesting.
I'm not taking nothing.
Okay. I love that. I mean, I love hearing their perspective. Okay, so you're not the only one. 161 is also not interested in the apples, but he's a little
Nope.
more vocal about not being interested in them. He says he doesn't care to make friends, which is hilarious. Um, then Leanne says she doesn't like Lorenzo because she thinks he is arrogant. And yeah, that's the end of the Apple scenario. He kind of just leaves, and you know, it is what it is at that point. So we get to the dreaded line. Everyone gets back into formation, and it's time to do the deed. Time to put the names on the board. And the thing about it is, when you type a name in, the person you voted for's picture pops up. So if you vote for somebody new, they're gonna know exactly who you voted for. So the
Exactly.
first person in line is 445, Mr. Chapman Sweet. He, he's a low key player in the game, but I know
He
who these
was,
people are.
so it was kind of surprising to see him. Like he didn't have to be the first person in line to do that. So I wonder like what in his head was like making him like feel like he got to be the person to do it. Honestly.
Well, I won't put words in his mouth, but we spoke about this, and he kind of said, he didn't care, and he was ready to kind of make a move, in his own words, to
Okay.
me privately. We'll try and get him on here as the time goes as well, but definitely, I think he just honestly didn't care at this point. He already knew who
Right.
he was voting for, but we'll get it from the horse's mouth eventually.
Exactly.
So he's the first person to pick a vote, and he votes for 374. Boom! The moment of truth. Um, once 374 sees his face up on the screen, he knows he's toast.
Exactly.
Dash says, "Oh, that's so savage." Leanne votes for one, and then everyone keeps voting, and then Leanne's turn up, and no one else has voted for anyone else until she votes for 161. Lorenzo, it's getting deep. So when you see these first two people's pictures, what are you thinking? Like, are you like, wow, surprised? Or are you like, that's kind of what I expected?
I was surprised. I mean, I think obviously because I didn't know. I mean, obviously I'm not in their group, so I'm not knowing who they're talking about. So obviously the first ones are going to be the ones that you're surprised about. But it's like, did 374 really want to go home? Like Leanne with Lorenzo, I think Lorenzo just didn't want an apple, but I think she got a little mad because he didn't want an apple. It's like he was being a little hostile about the apple, and he does probably come off rude, maybe, but I guess at this point, if like somebody trip you by mistake, you gonna throw their number up there. So it's like it's like free game at this point. If you tick me off, I'm gonna put your name up there. So that's probably like exactly how it is. Like the least little thing. Like if I get the chance to vote you out, I'm gonna vote you out. So that's probably how they're thinking, I guess.
Yeah, no, the smallest thing, and it's like, ooh, like once your picture's up there, it's kind of hard to, get it out of people's hands because that's it. And
Right.
as the votes go, it can be like, nobody's else pictures popping up. You kind of see the writing on the wall. Destiny's Child
Yep.
says. So we go, and he says Lorenzo doesn't know why she picked him. He's like, why would she pick me? He says there are snakes everywhere, and he's tired of it. Leanne says she isn't afraid to make difficult choices. 19 says the women need to stick together. 161 says he can't wait for his turn because he knows exactly what he's going to do. 179 then votes for 330. She said she's dead serious. She voted for him because her team wanted to vote for him. And 179 is Cheney, which is hilarious. She had a little moment there. Then 330 votes for 179. Cheney's face is up on the board. She pretends to be shocked. Then 161 is time. It's time for his turn, Lorenzo. He gets out of line before he votes and goes up to Leanne to make sure that's her number. He says, "Is it 302 or 302?" And she says, "They're the same thing."
We gotta break. I want to break those two down.
Okay, go ahead.
Obviously, Cheney doing that to Dr. V. Who was you see he was the one orchestrating that. He was the loudest one in the room. That's why you got threw up there. So it's like you should expect it. Like you were too loud, you were too vocal, like you were nothing's wrong with being a leader, but in this game you can't in certain times you just can't insert yourself and be that leader. So that's just what happened to him. And I mean, as far as Lorenzo doing that is freaking funny. I was dying when he walked up there to her shirt. I was like, this dude really had the nerve to walk up here and look at her shirt to see what her number was. Like, it was just funny as hell. Super funny. Like that dude is hilarious.
Oh yeah, that was prime time television right there. I lived for that.
Exactly.
That was, I mean, because he knew what time it was, and he might have had a feeling like, man, like I might be going, so let me just do this little thing right here. And yeah, I mean, he had nothing to lose at that point, to be honest. And so, then it's time for our friend Dash to vote, and he says he has a little montage. And he says it's obvious 179 Cheney is the ringleader of an alliance. And then he votes for her. So her name is already on the board right now. So if you guys lost track, it's Cheney 179, Andy 374, Dr. V 330, and Lorenzo 161. All their names are on the board. And so I'll recap. If anyone else votes for them, you won't really know it because they're people like hiding their hands and whatnot and not letting it seen, so you don't know. So there's four names on the board.
But Cheney was being nosy.
She was.
Cheney was looking at that board.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So yeah, Dash says he voted for her, and it's a secret. Only he knows as of now. So the votes are finishing up, and we're getting the results. So before we get the results, I want to know who you voted for.
Who did I tell you was below my bunk? So,
okay.
Literally, Cheney and them sitting there talking about Dr. V, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, that's the name I hear. That's the name I'm going with.
Okay.
So,
Enough said.
Yeah, Dr. V, I'm sorry, but you was close to my ear. I heard your name, so I was like, all right, if they go with Dr. V, I'm going with Dr. V.
Man. R.I.P. Dr. V. But maybe not. We haven't got the results yet. So we get the results, and the first player eliminated is 374, Andy. This one hurts. R.I.P. Andy. See you on the other side. Second player voted out is Number 330, Dr. V. Ugh. People like Jakoben just jumped on that ship and just kept throwing him under the bus.
I jumped on the ship. And everybody was shocked that Dr. V. Like I said, it's like that super nice motivational person, and it's like you don't expect that, but being the loudest person in the room ain't the way to go. It's just not the way to go.
Well, not in a game like this. And Cheney is so happy he's gone. She is elated. And then the last and final person to be eliminated is 161 Lorenzo. One of our focal points and focal characters of the show is now dismissed and is exiled. He leaves with saying people are sheep, and he doesn't blame the people. He blames Cheney.
He blames Cheney?
Dang. Yeah, that's what he said. He said he doesn't blame the people. He blames Cheney because she put his name up there. She put his name up there.
Well, she put Lorenzo's name up there, or Cheney did?
Sorry, not Cheney.
Leanne.
Leanne. Sorry, he blames Leanne.
Leanne. Okay,
he blames Leanne. Sorry, not Cheney. Sorry, Cheney, not you. You're innocent. He blames Leanne. I know it's
gotcha. No, for sure. Leanne did him dirty.
Yeah. So that's the one person he's putting responsible for his execution, and maybe he'll get his revenge one day. We'll see. So after this vote, 70 players remain. Leanne is trying to trash talking 161. See, like, good riddance, he's gone, yada yada yada. She says he didn't have anything nice to say, so I had to vote him out. That's pretty much what it was. Leanne said, and then we get kind of introduced more to Leanne. She gives more of her backstory. She said she was an editor at the New York Times. She's always been an athlete, and she went to K-State and was the Kansas State University. She was the first woman to receive a full ride basketball scholarship there. Very impressive. Wow. So we get more backstory to her and whatnot. She's, amazing at this point. Kind of a fan favorite, I guess you could say. Then we get to 222. He admits to Cheney that he voted for. Why is my notes messed up here? 222 admits to Cheney he voted for.
I think I know what you're trying to get to. I think
222. I'm gonna skip that note. I messed up that note, but we'll skip that part. So then Dash comes back into the picture, and he goes up to Cheney about 374, he says he voted for 374 to Cheney. She's like, "Oh, good, you're not alone." I was like, "Of course I voted for her." He says he absolutely would not vote for her. That's what he said to her face. But he's nervous that she and her crew may come for him eventually. That's why he really voted for him.
And it's so funny. Dash literally. I feel like Cheney knew Dash voted for him.
It looked like on her face, like she was. Yeah, you could see the look on her face.
Yeah, like you lying right in my face. I feel like she knew. And
what do you think? What do you think about his strategy for voting for her?
He's trying to split up that big alliance, and like I said, splitting up alliances is the way to go, no doubt. Like, take away the strong. Cheney was the leader of her alliance. Like, and she had guys in her alliance with her, but like, what Cheney said go in that alliance. Yeah, I feel like Cheney made the decisions in that alliance for sure. So she was a strong player. So on Dash's, that was a good choice for Dash to probably do that, because she was a strong player. Like, she had a strong influence on the people around her. So Dash knew what he was doing, no doubt.
Yeah, he had a plan. He was trying to stick to it.
Yep.
Then we pan to Rick, and he's talking about his tattoos for a little bit to some of his friends in the Gangu gang, and we get that little montage, and then it's bedtime. Everyone goes to sleep. Now it's time to wake up. Everyone wakes up. They say the second test is about to begin early in the morning. We go to Sasha. Why am I messing this up?
It's all good, man.
We got players, they're fired up, ready to stay in the competition, etc. Slay the competition. Dash is fired up and ready to slay the competition. Then we get to B. She says she's ready to strategize, and we see the Gangu gang. They're all still together and whatnot. We get 286 and 287. They're still getting close and talking about people being threats. Then we can't pan to Dash, and he says there's a 4-person alliance of Cheney, Darius, Jesse, and TJ. And then you see him in the bathroom. He's telling 3 other girls in the bathroom, number 54, 80, and 51, about what he did. He tells them he lied about his votes. Now, why do you think this was smart for him to tell this, or was it kind of he's trying to confide in people and get like, just in there you get lonely, you need to talk to somebody, and
Yeah.
it's hard to hold secrets. So what do you think about this move he did to tell these girls?
So I feel like at that point, so Dash, if you're watching, you are a cool ass person, no doubt. Dash had that ability to be able to go to each group and be in each group and talk to everybody. So at that point, and I guess we would say Dash probably really wasn't an alliance. Like I feel like Dash was a person that was playing by himself, but he could go insert himself in other groups and go in other conversations. But at this point, he knew, it's like he almost knew, like, I gotta find somebody like that's gonna like find a group of people and I influence their decisions for us to all make the same decision together. So because if the reason him doing that, he must have knew, like, it's people around here saying my name, like I gotta go get a group together that's like gonna have my back. But it's so funny that like he thought they wasn't gonna go run it back to them. But that's not like that. It's the nature of the game, like how messy it's starting to get.
Yeah, and I'm looking. Me as a viewer, I'm looking. Even if I was there, I would look at the demographics of things. Like
I
he's
wouldn't
talking
go
about.
say that.
I'm just looking at that from a viewer. Like.
Can I say that?
Say what you need to say.
Can I explain on that?
Go ahead, explain. But people need to hear this point of view because this is this is a big thing.
Okay. I don't think like this, but I can just see it for what it is. Like I'm from Mississippi, so small town Mississippi. Obviously, in small town Mississippi, African American people are gonna stick together. So if Dash running telling them that and it's about them, it's gonna get back to them. Like it's almost fake if it doesn't. Like if they wouldn't have went and warned them that like Dash is trying to get me to gang up and it come at y'all. So I think Dash probably didn't know it would be like that, but I'm not.
Hold on one second. Yeah, hold on one second. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like Dash just didn't think it was gonna get ran back to them, and like I'm not saying you should look at it like black people stick together, but I feel like sometimes people think like that, and like where I'm from, like they're gonna stick together and like almost like look out for each other in a way. It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of like, yeah. That's my thoughts on it. Honestly, I think it went back to her, or maybe it can be like female to female, like looking out for another female. I don't know. I guess. I wonder why she did go back and tell Cheney. Because maybe she could have kept it to herself. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it was a combination of female to female. That was a big kind of thing. The girls, after a while, were like, we need to stick together. And then also, sister to sister. Like,
exactly.
It's a big thing, And these girls maybe had a low key thing of sticking together, but they're smart enough not to make it as shown as possible.
Right.
Maybe Dash wasn't thinking. Yeah, and Dash probably maybe wasn't thinking about that. Like, no blame to him on that. I mean,
Right.
he can't just assume they're in an alliance together based off that. But from
And I
looking
don't
at it
even
from,
think
yeah, go ahead.
I don't think in the dorms they were hanging out together. So it definitely probably had to be like you said, a sister to sister thing. Like I'm gonna just warn her and let her know like what's going on. Like your name is being thrown out here, so I'm just trying to let you know what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. And no,
But I feel like Dash should have probably been smarter enough to like not. You can't just go confine to anybody because like you can't really trust nobody. So like
can't trust anyone. So yeah, so Dash tells him the secret, and then 54 says he tells Dash you need to be careful. So then we see some free time spent doing random activities, dancing, whatever. Then we see 54. She goes up to Darius and she's like, I got something to tell you. Darius is like, what? So she's like, come here. So she brings it to private. She tells him that Dash voted for Cheney. Woo! Cat's out the bag. That
she
quick.
knew
Dang.
it.
She
She
knew
just
it.
knew it. I don't know
Darius.
if she had I don't know if she had a feeling or she was really just looking, but you could just like at the time you could just see it all over her face when Dash had went up to her. Like it was like, I know you voted for me, like I know you did. So that is freaking funny.
No, it was crazy. Like, I mean, it was that's wild. And so Darius is shocked. He's like, what? He can't believe it. And
Cause
then
it's
54
crazy.
said,
Like
yeah,
my
go ahead,
bad.
go ahead. No, go ahead, go ahead.
Like I said, like Dash is comfortable going laughing in everybody's face. So like that's I guess like that's the funny part about it to me. It's like I said, Dash was that person that could go around to each group, and that's what he was doing. But like Dash, it is messy at the same time. It's like Dash, weren't you just laughing in their face, like he ha, but you voted for him. So like I said, it's the nature of how fake and messy the game is. Like you can't trust. And when I say fake, like fake is in, you can't trust anybody. It's messy. You can't,
Yep.
you can't trust. Somebody's laughing in your face, they'll stab you in the back so quick.
So quick. And that probably happened the same day. Like,
Exactly.
wow. So then 54 said she has lost trust in Dash. 176 Darius is very upset and tells Cheney that Dash voted for him. Jesse is right there when she's told as well, and then they rally behind her saying, we got your back, don't worry, we'll take care of this essentially. So then we see 229 is seeing 229 is seeing making alliances form, and it kind of pisses her off. She's like, she's not fooling with all the alliance stuff. She just kind of gets annoyed by it. She sees the little groups of people joining together and making their bonds and whatnot. Then we get to 232 brings 243 to go do chores with him. So this is Rick and Steven. Steven talks up to him about his upbringing and whatnot. And they see a game of Dachi in the kitchen. And Dachi is the game where you throw the little paper down on the other paper and it got to flip up. So they start doing that just randomly. It's just sitting in there conveniently, nothing alert
Right.
about that. And then all of a sudden, they get an alert saying player 243 lost Dachi. And then we see a guard come in. So I'm like, uh-oh, what's happening? So when you see the guard come in, what do you think is about to happen?
Oh, I mean, I just at this point, I just know Steven. I'm like, Steven, bro, you out of here. Dr. Dr. Richter whooped your tail and Dodge, you gone, man.
Yeah,
And you
no,
can
it's
literally see it all over Dr. Rick's face. Like, what the heck did I just do?
yeah, no, it was crazy. I mean, who would have thought like they were playing an actual game and it meant life or death in the game? I mean,
Yep.
but we find out that Dr. Rick just gets awarded a candy bar. That was it.
But this is the thing. I don't know if did you ever come in contact. Obviously, you came in contact with Dr. Rick, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, 100%.
In that scene, feel like just looking at his face, like I feel like him and Steven's bond was really strong, and like if it ever came to a point where it was like him going home or Steven going home, I really think he would like choose himself and like let Steven stay there. Like that's just what it looked like to me, their type of bond. And you tell me, because I mean, Dr. Rick seems like a genuine person, like super genuine person. Just looking at his eyes when he thought like he had eliminated Steven, it just looked like if he could like change the decision, he would. Like, do you think that? Do you have that opinion? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think Dr. Rick, I mean, he speaks highly on Steven, and I 100% believe that, if it came down like him or me, he would have said him. And because, that's just the kind of guy he is. Very honorable guy,
Right.
very guy, that's about his morals. I don't think he put money over anything. He's not that type of person. So
Right.
So I definitely think that would have been the case. And he felt, see on the look on his face, he felt horrible about it. And,
Yeah.
he didn't know what's going on. But luckily, it wasn't life or death. He just got a candy bar and they ended up splitting it with some people. So because then they have a moment because they thought Steve was going to be eliminated. So then we fast forward. We see 278 and 229 have a moment in the bathroom talking about how they miss their kids, about home life. This is when we meet player 229, Felicia. Get introduced to her. She is from Colorado and talks about her and her partner trying to have kids, and they're on the brink of a divorce because things are getting very hard. Very emotional scene. She opens up a little bit, and then she ends it with they finally were able to have a baby girl after all the ups and downs and whatnot, which is a nice story. I liked her touch and how they introduced Felicia. That was real nice. How you did you get to meet?
I
Go
did.
ahead.
I did get to meet Felicia, and I mean, like hearing that story, no doubt. Like, I'm 24 years old. I don't have any kids, so like, I really don't have any big worries back at home. Like, I mean, of course, I have family and friends, but like, I don't have big responsibilities like kids. I don't have a girlfriend or anything like that. So I didn't have any big worries back at the house. Now it's like at the end of the day, like she has that back at home. So like I don't know, like a person has to be strong, definitely like strong minded to be able to, I mean, leave their kids back and just thinking about it the entire time like that's freaking tough.
Yeah, no, definitely. I felt for all the parents in there because you have no communication whatsoever and they don't know what's going on. So it's a big moment. So then we get a Panda Dash saying he's scared of being in the front so it's time for the second game and they bring the guards come out and whatnot, and that you get Dash saying he's scared of being in the front and bad things happen to people in the front. He's not wrong. If I was him, I probably would have ran to the back. That was a very on point statement. So then we see the second test is about to start. So the guards bring out this bar or this tabletop, and it has 6 boxes on it, and they say 5 people need a volunteer. So when they bring this thing out and they say 5 people need a volunteer, what's going through your head right now?
So in my head right now, of course I would never gonna say this out loud, but I am getting to the point where like I'm fucking tired of being here. Like I am tired of this shit. Like I'm eating good. Like I need some damn seasoning on my food. Like I'm thinking about food the entire time. That's really what I'm thinking about. If they would give me something with some seasoning on it, I would have been straight the entire time. But like all those thoughts are running through my head, so I'm just like, I'm just about to try something. I don't care what happens. I mean, of course, I do want to win that 4.56 million, but I mean, maybe if I try this, this may get me a little ahead. So I'm about to take a little risk and try something. So that's what I'm thinking.
So you're hungry and you're kind of like over the game at this point, it sounds like.
I'd say 50-50. Like I'm willing to insert myself more into the game out there, like because I've been playing so low key. So I was like, why not? We getting on down. Like, let me take a chance and see what happens. I mean, why not?
Okay. Well, the speaker says 5 people need to volunteer, and so we get the 5 volunteers. 183, Jesse steps up to pick a box. 375 steps up to a box. 87 steps up to a box. 229, Felicia steps up to a box. And 130 steps up to a box. He steps up. Wow.
And I can't believe I did that too. Like, I'm just never that. Truthfully, I'm never that type of person to just like be the first to volunteer for anything. I just like it was kind of where I was standing too. Like I was already kind of toward the front, so I was like, should I go? Because I was iffy about it. I'm not gonna lie, like I was iffy about it, but I've been chilling, being low key. I was like, I'm about to try something right now, see what happens.
Dang. He said he wants to see he wants to go open the box and kind of get his pizza reward, or else he might have to go get it from Domino's outside the game.
Hey, it was a win-win regardless.
Okay. Well, the guards yeah, exactly. Then Felicia starts crying like heavily. Just it's a lot of pressure being up there. But then they say, and she's the only girl up there too, so it's a lot.
I feel like, I mean, I know, no doubt, I know it's a lot of emotions, like being up there, and I was trying to hold a poker face the entire time. Like, I didn't want to show any emotions, but it's like, I feel like you know what type of person you are. So if you go up there crying, being emotional, like, why did you, like, what made you, like, why would you go up there? Why would you put yourself through that? Why would you go through there if you're not good at making decisions like on the fly? Because looking at what was spread out, you could kind of have an idea of what's about to happen, but like you're about to have to make a decision probably in front of all of us. So like it's like if you stand up there, you don't need to be crying. You need to be a strong person, poker face, because I mean they pushed you up there.
Yeah. 100%. So when you guys are picking boxes, why do you pick the box that you pick?
So mine's like red and green, and it looked like it just reminded me of Christmas. So I was like, hell, this is probably a present right here. Literally, that's my mind behind it. I'm like, this red and green box. I mean, shit, it didn't look like a damn Christmas present. I'm about to get behind my Christmas present right here.
Okay, he wants his Christmas present. I mean, it is January, Christmas just passed, so he's trying to get that late Santa's present. So I understand.
My box is red and green. I couldn't help but go to that box.
Okay, look, I feel you on that. And so the announcer says that each box will contain different powers. A box will contain the power to eliminate other players. There's a power that can advance them into the next game. And there's a box that, could maybe send them home. And then that's when we get the cliffhanger. Dun, dun, dun. So, we're going to find out next episode if our friend 130, Jakoben Thomas, is going to pick the right box, man. I mean, you got a lot of pressure on your shoulders. And this is my episode ended on a cliffhanger too, with me having to make a decision. So I understand, like, they putting us brothers in the Hunger Games right now.
Spots.
Yeah, they leaving us in the Hunger Games and leaving us with these cliffhangers, man. I don't know if it's the theme of the season. They just want brothers to seem stressed out on this show or not.
For real.
But these cliffhangers got to stop, man. They got to stop. So the journey's still going on. We will find out early in episode 5 what happens to number 130. Well, after all that, you're still in the game. You've lasted this long so far, down to the final 70 players. You kind of gave us your feelings already, how you're feeling. You're mentally feeling at this portion of the game. Do you think you've played everything kind of how you want to play it to this point?
No, I think I played it very well up to the point. Like I said, I've stayed super low key. I haven't been too low key. I went around talking with people. People, at least if they don't know my name by heart, they know my face. I came into interaction with them and talked to them. So I feel like I've at least done that, and that's enough. Like, I feel like if you're just like too to yourself, like you don't willing to go meet people and introduce yourself and talk to, make sure you talk to everybody, make eye contact with people, like even if it's like a simple wave. So I feel like I did that. So I mean, I haven't done too much at this point. So like I feel like I'm playing it safe.
You know, a lot of people have been playing it safe at this point, and they made it this far. So I like the strategy. You know, I like the
For
strategy,
real.
undercover brother style.
Exactly.
Cool, man. Well, that's awesome, man. I'm happy you're still in the game. I appreciate you coming doing this episode 4 recap with me, man. It's exciting so far, and we're gonna see where this journey takes you. Before we get out of here, I really do appreciate you, helping us out. And
No
for the
problem, man.
people who want to
Appreciate
know,
you.
where can they find you on social media?
So if you can find me on Instagram at Jakoben underscore Thomas, JAKOBEN underscore Thomas. And same on TikTok. You can find me Jakoben Thomas, Facebook Jakoben Thomas, JAKOBEN THOMAS, y'all.
All right, y'all. Y'all know, y'all heard it from the horse's mouth himself. Well,
Yes,
we about to get
sir.
out of here. It's getting late. Got to get some Z's soon, but I appreciate y'all. We're going to catch y'all for episode 5. Recap coming soon. And all the rest of the other player exit
Yes, sir.
interviews that we doing, or aftermath interviews that we doing from the show. Until next time, y'all.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Deuces. We out of here.